What is going on, guys? This is Miasin, and this is the updated zombie deck profile post ban list. Man, this is one of the best ban lists for zombies. We got a few cards that actually made the deck much better. So Nessie going from 2 to 3. Disregard the numbers that you're seeing, by the way. This is a TCG legal version, so yeah, don't really care about the 2 here. It's just that EDO Pro doesn't have updated ban list, and this Trudeau is now at 1, so you can play it, and Emergency Teleport is now at 3. So that means that the Psy Reflector engine is much better. And of course, I'm going to go super in-depth into this deck profile. So before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. And also check me out on Twitch and Instagram. Try to live stream between like 3 to 4 times a week. Depends, obviously, if I have like exams or assignments that I have to hand in, then maybe I'm gonna have to stream maybe 2 times a week, unfortunately. But I'm trying my best to like maintain the 3 times a week. And of course, YouTube, I'm always aggressively uploading. So that's that. Anyways, let's get right into it. So I am playing 2 Doom King. Now, 2, I want to say, is probably the best number for this card, because when you're playing 3, you're always drawing it, which is bad. It's a level 8 monster that you can't really normal summon, obviously. You can special summon it from the hand with the graveyard effect of Gozuki, and now you can start playing around hand traps when you combo off, because your opponent goes Ash and you can go Negate with Doom King, which is kind of cool. Obviously, if your opponent goes Nibiru, you can't, because Nibiru is not a zombie monster in the hand. But yeah, that's a cool play that you can do with the Doom King. But 1 is not enough, because if it gets hit by a DD Cruel caught by the grave, you want to have a second copy in deck. So yeah, 2 is probably the best compromise. So 1 is not enough, 3 is too much. Why not play 2? And then Nessie is one of the best danger monsters out there. Also, being level 7 is ridiculously important. You might be thinking, well, why? Well, level 7 non-tuner and level 1 tuner that you summon off of Needle Fiber here allows you to make Omega, which is just one of the best cards. Gets you back your Mizukis and your Banshees. Mizuki is just an extra extender, and Banshee is a card that even if you have like as surplus, so already a zombie world on the field and a Banshee in grave, if your opponent has like Cosmic Cyclone or Lightning Storm or Duster for your zombie world, you can chain Banshee on resolution in order to activate another zombie world, and your opponent is locked under not being able to do anything again. So yeah, this card is absolutely ridiculous, and Nessie is just really good at allowing you to just draw more cards, get cards in the graveyard. Same for the other dangers. I mean, Orochimaru and Jackalope, very good. So the 5 good dangers that are quote-unquote the guaranteed dangers, we're always trying to play them. The other one, Bigfoot, Mothman, Chupacabra, I'm not a super big fan. I guess you can say Mothman is probably the best non-guaranteed, because at least if it gets sniped, you can draw 1 card and discard, but it also helps the opponent. And I've never really been a big fan of cards that just allow my opponent to progress even more. Like if I'm playing against a deck that really wants cards in the graveyard, and I'm letting my opponent draw a card, maybe draw into a potential hand trap, and discard a card that is a +1 or something, just no. So that's a reason why I'm not a really big fan of Mothman. I don't really recommend the other dangers, like I said. But yeah, this Trudeau, great card. You can Foolish this with Foolish Burial or Ravine, which we also play with Romulus because of Chaos Space. I'm going to explain this later on. Artifact Scythe. This is settable by Artifact Dagda, so this card dodged the ban list. We're trying to abuse it. Assault Beast with the other assault mode activate cards. I'm going to put them here just so you can know that it's actually an engine. And yeah, the last cards here are 3 Banshee with 3 Mizuki, 2 Solitaire, 2 Uni-Zombie, and 1 Gozuki. And the baby dragons, of course, so 1 Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, 1 White Dragon Wyver Buster. So I figured that Chaos Space was pretty broken in this deck, because if you had dark monsters that you didn't really need, you could pitch them to the grave and then get your kind of dragon engine going and make Romulus search the Dragon's Ravine. That could be foolishing for this Trudeau. If you didn't need that, well, you just skip that part, because you don't really have to commit to that. And also, in the process, you draw 1 card with Chaos Space. So, you know, all the better. It's really good. And I'm just a big fan of these cards, honestly. In any deck that can really abuse them as extenders, they're just like free link fodder. And this deck is trying to link as much as possible. Or when it doesn't link, it's synchros. So these are always getting their effects when they're sent from the field to grave. And I'm only playing 1 Gozuki. This is not a dark attribute monster, and it becomes very cloggy if you have too many. Solitaire is also a fire, not a dark, so not necessarily always the best. Uni-Zombie is pretty good, and if Uni-Zombie gets ashed, at least it's still on the field, whereas if Solitaire gets ashed, you have nothing at all. So I want to say Uni-Zombie is probably the better card through hand trap, and through hand trap, sorry. And Gozuki is probably one of the worst because it's a non-tuner monster. So if you get like Veilered or something on Gozuki, same with Solitaire, if you get Veilered before you even use the effect, then you just can't really use it as fodder for Needle Fiber, and that's not really ideal. So yeah, that's pretty much it for these monsters. And now for the Assault Mode engine, 3 Psy Reflector with 3 Emergency Teleport, 1 Assault Beast, and 1 Assault Mode Activate. So this, like I said, is the Garnet. You never want to draw this ever under no circumstances. And we are playing 1 Assault Beast, so this is another kind of bad card that you don't really want to see. So like I said, these ones, they single-handedly get your engine started. So 1 level 8 monster, a Synchro monster. So this would take up your normal summon if you draw it. But Emergency Teleport, not even. And it's not once per turn. This, all of these effects of Psy Reflector, though, they are once per turn. So yeah, like I said, this searches Assault Beast, and then you discard Assault Beast, search Assault Mode Activate, reveal it in order to use the effect of Psy Reflector, revive back Assault Beast, and then increase its level anywhere between 1 to 4. So now you can make a level 8 Synchro just like that. And of course, the Glow Bloom that you summon off of Needle Fiber, I mean, that's kind of a given. So anyways, for the spell cards, 1 Foolish Burial, it's a freaking zombie deck. Of course, I'm playing Foolish. It would be foolish not to play Foolish, as a matter of fact. Monster Reborn, we love our graveyards. Chaos Space, this card just has to be played. I want to say it's pretty good. It's never been really bad for me. However, when I was playing with the Rocket Monsters, it wasn't working out too well. I had a lot of hands where I would see way too many Rocket Monsters with normal summons, and my hand just... I had to, like, choose between either engine, and it wasn't doing anything. And finally, 2 Zombie World with 1 Dragon Ravine, so that's it for the main deck. And for the extra deck, 1 Baroness, 1 Chaos Ruler. Now, this is probably the play that you go for when you only have Psy Reflector and nothing else. It's the worst-case scenario, but you can mill Banshee, Mizuki, and stuff like that, which could get your engine started, like I said. 1 Omega, this recycles back your good cards, so I already kind of explained that. TG Wonder Magician, you summon this off of Needle Fiber, so you can pop your Artifact Scythe, and this is a level 5 tuner that can Quink Sync, so using this and Artifact Scythe, you can make Baroness, which is going to be another Omni Negate on top of the Scythe lock. So how do you lose after that? Jesus. And yeah, Formula Synchron, so Needle Fiber can also summon Formula Synchron, which again is a level 2 tuner. So 2 plus 8 from the Doom King would also be level 10. So many ways that you can actually make level 10 Synchro monsters like Baroness or Shiranui Sun Saga, which becomes generic when you're under Zombie World because everything becomes zombies. And even your Synchros engraved, they become zombie anyway, so this card is absolutely insane. But I think you don't really need to play it when Baroness just honestly looks like it's a better option. It also has an effective pop card, just not on summon. It has to be like an ignition effect on your own turn, a slow effect. That's not really a turn, but whatever, you get the point. And yeah, whatever, that's it for the Synchro monsters. For the Link monsters, access code Unicorn. You could also play Appaloosa to summon off the Masquerena. Then Vampire Sucker, Revenge of Savior. This card is really good going second. You can Foolish for cards that you couldn't have access to because your opponent hand trapped you too much. So sometimes you can turn like really bad hands into good hands just because of the Foolishing effect. But of course you have to battle with this card. So that's why going first, this card is just not even a variable in your extra deck. It does nothing at all. And then Artifact Dagda, this card is broken going first. It gets you to Scythe Lock, which is insane. Needle Fiber, Romulus, Masquerena, Striker Dragon, and Relinquished Anima. I mean, most of these cards are just no-brainers, and I've showcased them in my combo video anyways. Alright, for the idea section, this is also quite interesting. So Dragon Necro, Nether Soul Dragon, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and Mud Dragon of the Swamp. All these 3 cards, what they have in common are that is the fact that they are super poly targets. So if you can fit them in your extra deck and play super poly with Verte Anaconda, well, really broken because Zombie World transforms everything into zombies. So this literally becomes a generic super poly target, but finding the extra deck space is very hard to do. So that's why I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. And for the other Synchro monsters that you could play, Shiranui Sun Saga, and 2 other really broken Synchro monsters that I'm just waiting to get. So Corpse Dragon Lord Felgrand and Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord, they don't exist in the TCG yet. But when we will get them, the deck is going to be a little better. Not like significantly, because again, they're just one-offs in your extra deck. So not the biggest change, but once we do get them, I'm going to make an update on them. And a card that I never really considered too much, TG Hyper Librarian. I mean, you draw cards when you Synchro Summon, but Do you really need that? No, you want to kill your opponent. You don't want to draw. I mean, you kind of want to draw cards and GL, but you also want to kill your opponent more. So, I don't know. Appaloosa, this is what I want to see. Nuggets, Nuggets. Forbidden Job, Super Poly, Shiranui Style, Swallow Slash. This is like an Icarus attack on crack. You basically destroy 3 cards if you play Shiranui Spirit Master, otherwise you only destroy 2 cards. But yeah, pretty good. Artifact Sanctum, Vendread Reorigin, Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, and Rivalry. So Rivalry is good with Zombie World. Eradicator, Epidemic Virus is good with Doom King, so you can call spells and traps. Traps against trap decks and spells against Sky Striker. The Vendread Reorigin is just only good in control decks, so it's not the best. Artifact Sanctum is not worth it because you can already dag that into the Scythe, so you're not really that thirsty for the Scythe. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this deck profile, but if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.